We are legends. At the start of the movie, we see that a doctor's interview is being broadcast on TV. This doctor is informing the public that we have found a cure for cancer. When the interviewer asks how many people have been treated so far, the doctor, whose name is Alice, replies that 10,000 people have been treated and all of them were cured. At that time, their treatment works 100%. And the interview ends, and the movie story there is shown 3 years later. Here, the city of Manhattan in America is shown, which has become completely deserted. There are many cars here, but not a single person is present, and all the buildings are empty. No person is visible here, and at the same time, we see a red car approaching at high speed, and inside this car is the main hero of the film, Vismit, along with Vismit's dog. We see that while driving this fast car, they are hunting a deer. The deer is running fast and they are chasing it at speed. After a lot of struggle, when they are about to hunt the deer, a lioness suddenly appears and pounces on the deer, making it her prey. Vismit could have used his gun to shoot the lioness and claim the hunt, but he chooses to ignore this, because evening falls and Vismit's watch alarm goes off. The purpose of this alarm is to remind him that it's time to return home, to ignore everything else, and to definitely reach back home. Will Smith needs to go home because, although there are no other humans in this city, there are many mutants present. In this film, the mutants are called Darkseekers. These Darkseekers only come out at night because they cannot tolerate the light during the day, which is why Will Smith's alarm goes off, and he returns home. Now he has reached his home. Inside the house, Will Smith and his dog eat together and completely seal their home. All the doors are locked, and all the lights are turned off so that no Darkseeker, meaning those mutants, can detect that someone is inside the house. Will Smith loves his dog very much, and we see that Will Smith and his dog are sleeping together. And during this time, there is a lot of noise from the Darkseekers outside. And now the story goes into a flashback from here. Now the story has gone into a flashback, and we see that Will Smith is with his family, and from there he used to take his wife and daughter towards the airport. Will Smith tells his wife to arrange at least 2 weeks' worth of food in and to withdraw money from the ATM and keep it with her. He also tells his wife that the army will seal this area within an hour. His wife becomes very worried and asks if the virus is spreading through the air like this. He doesn't know much about it and says, yes, maybe it's something like that. And after this, they reach the airport. Upon arriving at the airport, they see that there are many people present because everyone wants to save their lives. Everyone wants to go to a safe place outside the city, but the airport security only allows those who are not infected so that the disease does not spread to other cities. Here we see that the security personnel are using a special type of machine that indicates whether a person is infected or not. Will Smith's child clears the machine test, but when his wife passes through it, it is revealed that she is severely infected, which causes the security to stop Will Smith's wife from leaving. Now, being a senior officer, Will Smith gets angry and says, "This is my wife, let her go," and orders them to check his wife again. When the security checks her again, the machine clears her. This means that now the machine indicates that his wife has no virus, and she can travel to another city. Since Will Smith is a senior officer, a helicopter is arranged for his family. As soon as this helicopter takes off, meaning it flies away, another helicopter is approaching from the front, which is attacked by Darkseekers, causing the other helicopter to become unbalanced. The helicopter crashes into the one carrying Will Smith's family, causing both helicopters to crash. As a result of this crash, all the passengers inside both helicopters die, including Will Smith's wife and son. Now we see that Will Smith is present inside the Eccles body, and he is making medicine to cure the infected people. This lab, which is doing different experiments, also has many infected mice, so that experiments can be done on these mice, and it can be tested whether the medicine that Vismit is making works or not. During the experiment, they also check whether there is any difference in the mice to whom they had given the same medicine last time. But during the experiment, it is found that the condition of the mice is still just as bad. They are very aggressive, and so far this medicine is not affecting them, and in this troubling situation, Will Smith's attention goes to a mouse, which is sitting calmly and is not aggressive like the other mice. Will Smith feels that the medicine he gave to this mouse is working because it is not reacting, and he thinks that perhaps this is the right time to test this medicine on humans as well, so that all the people can be protected from the infection. Those who have become Darkseekers can be turned back into humans. The story now comes to the present time, which I am talking about, when he is all alone. Throughout Manhattan, Will Smith regularly performs such a task on a daily basis. He goes out every day, and sends signals through FM radio. If any person is listening to him and needs any kind of help, I am here. I can provide you with food. I can provide you with shelter, with the hope that one day someone will hear him and make contact. He believes that he is not alone here, And there could be someone who will listen to him, and he can meet them or they can meet him. And he also mentions that he is available every day at noon on a bridge, and I will meet you there every day. Now, in the context of hunting, another surprise appears to Vismit. He and his dog, while chasing the deer, reach near a room. The room is very dark. Vismit does not want to enter the room, but his dog goes into the same room where it is very dark. Because Vismit loves his dog very much, he also enters the dark room for his dog. Will Smith's gun has a light in front of him that helps him find his dog. Here he finds his dog and tells it, "Come with me, let's go home." But his dog is very scared, and during this, Vismit hears some noises coming from the room. When Vismit looks to his right and left, he notices a dark figure. The Darkseeker, which is one of the mutants, before it can attack Will Smith, Vismit shoots it and riddles it with bullets, and immediately starts running away with his dog. Hearing this commotion, the other Darkseekers come out and start chasing after Will Smith. Will Smith is running, trying to save his life. A Darkseeker gets very close to Will Smith and is about to attack him when Will Smith jumps out of the window. Now, because the window is broken and he has come out into the light. But the Darkseeker that came out into the light with him dies as soon as it comes into the light, as we mentioned earlier. The Darkseekers cannot absorb light, they cannot come out in the light, and they die as soon as they are exposed to it. Now, a delightful realization occurs to him, and he understands that Darkseekers are present in this room. Darkseekers, so why not capture one of them? Hachi, take it to my lab, Hachi, and test the medicine I'm developing on this Darkseeker so that I can quickly create a proper cure and heal all of them. All. To capture the Darkseekers, he devises a trap in which they can get caught, creating a kind of snare. Meanwhile, he tells his dog to sit in the car because it could get infected. Here, he doesn't mention it because he is taking different doses on a daily basis, taking medicine to protect himself from the infection. After a while, they realize that the Darkseeker has already been caught in the trap that was set. Now the Darkseeker has come under Vismit's control. But at the same time, we see that from the room which was dark, being day, a window opens, and it makes a loud noise. It seems like it wants to take revenge on Vismit. Anyway, Vismit brings the Darkseeker to his lab. Now Will Smith uses the same medicine on this mutant that he had used on the mouse. The same mouse that he thought was getting better. After administering the medicine, the Darkseeker's breathing starts to slow down, and its heart rate begins to decrease, which makes Vismit think. He gets a glimmer of hope that maybe it's getting better. And at that moment, the mutant wakes up and starts screaming loudly, and then it passes out, leaving him quite disappointed. The treatment could not be completed successfully. Here, he is recording a video and reveals that the medicine he has created can save him from the infection, but it cannot cure those who are already infected. He keeps trying repeatedly to find a way to cure the Darkseekers. He also adds another point saying that today, when he was holding the head, a Darkseeker was staring at him, and while staring, it even came into the light, and the light had no effect on it. This is happening because they are hungry and are changing their lifestyle. Gradually, they are getting accustomed to coming out in the sunlight. He is recording all of this in the video conference. Sumit lives in the city of Hatton in America for years. As one day, Will Smith goes out with his dog when his foot gets caught in a trap, and he ends up hanging upside down in the air. This trap was set by the Darkseekers, because they are capable of thinking and understanding IO, and Will Smith is hanging in the air and becomes unconscious. This trap was set exactly in the same way that Will Smith had set to catch the Darkseekers a day earlier, and now the Darkseeker has copied it exactly and trapped Will Smith. It's daytime, and soon Will Smith's watch alarm starts ringing, indicating that evening is approaching, night is about to fall, and below, Will Smith's dog is barking repeatedly to wake him up and free him so that they can escape because it's a matter of time, and they come out at this time. If they come out, it would be dangerous for Will Smith. Will Smith takes out a knife from his pocket and cuts the rope, but as he falls, the knife accidentally pierces his foot. Will Smith is moving towards his car with his dogs, and the same Darkseeker appears in front of him. having come into the light. The Darkseeker also has two of his own dogs which are infected. The Darkseeker releases his dogs to attack Will Smith and his dog. Will Smith manages to kill both of those dogs, but by mistake, one of them also bites Will Smith's dog. In a state of distress, Will Smith brings his dog back to his nice home and gives it various medicines in his lab, hoping that his dog might recover, but nothing works. Crying, Will Smith strangles his dog to put it down. With his dog dead, he is alone once again. There was no one else with him, and this scene was very sad. He is very troubled and angry about this, and in his anger, he doesn't go out during the day, but instead goes out at night to kill all the mutants. He drives in his fast car, crushing all the mutants he encounters on the way. But at one point, Pareshi laughs, his car stops, and he has a minor accident. Now Vismit is injured, and in his injured state, the same Darkseeker who had left Vismit at the docks comes out into the sunlight. He comes near Vismit to kill him. Basically, this Darkseeker is the boss of all the Darkseekers. Before this Darkseeker can harm Will Smith, a very bright light appears, causing all the Darkseekers to flee and hide in the darkness. Will Smith has had an accident and is in a quite senseless state, and from this a voice comes asking where he lives. In a slightly unconscious state, Will tells his location. And in the next scene, when Will wakes up, the TV is on there. When he wakes up from the mess, he sees that there is a woman and her son present in his room. At first he is surprised to see them, but also happy. The woman tells him that they heard his radio message and came near his location. The woman also tells him that they waited the whole day at the bridge where he had asked to meet, but he didn't come there today. And at night they saw that he was caught among the mutants. So they saved him from there. The woman also tells Will Smith that all their companions were killed by the mutants, and now the two of them want to go to a place where there are other humans. Simaki. It's a safe location, where there is no virus, and the security is very good. Will Smith says, get rid of these misconceptions. There is no such place, but the woman insists that there is such a place. Now, according to his daily routine, Will Smith is locking up the house, boom, and he is inside his home. While Will Smith is locking up, he hears a lot of noise from outside, close to his house, which makes him suspicious. He asks the woman, at what time did you bring me here last night? She tells him that it's almost morning. They must have seen us. And he was already prepared to finish us off, which is why he set up different mines outside his house. If anyone comes close to his house, it will blast and even reach his house. During this time, a lot of mutants come close, and the mutants or seekers start dying, but there are too many of them, and soon the Darkseekers break into his house, which Will Smith shoots with his gun. Will Smith and the woman think that they have killed the mutants there, and now there are no other mutants or Darkseekers present in the house. They approach the same Darkseeker that is present in their lab on which they are conducting tests. They come here and see that it is now happening, meaning that it has become quite human and the infection has significantly reduced. They feel that their cure is working. And during that time, many more Darkseekers enter the lab. Now the lab is very large, and in the middle there is a bulletproof glass that can be closed. It can stop even the largest of bullets, which means they cannot easily enter the small portion. Where Vismit is present, all the Darkseekers try to break the glass, but they are not successful yet. Meanwhile, on the other side, Vismit is shouting, look, this one is also a seeker like you. It is getting cured, and I can cure all of you too. During this discussion, the boss of the Darkseekers comes forward, and he is very angry. He starts banging his head, and we see different cracks starting to appear. And the glass begins to break. Before the glass breaks, Vilsit takes a blood sample from the Darkseeker he is operating on, saying, I have found the cure. He takes the blood sample and places the woman in a safe chamber, also giving her the blood sample. He tells her, when you reach the settlement, give them the sample because this is the cure for the disease. She tells Vilsit to come with her, but Vilsit says, no, you all go. These people are not going to stop. I have to finish them myself. Here, Vishmit opens a drawer and takes out a hand grenade from there, and Will Smith runs towards those mutants, and assuming all these mutants or Darkseekers, he opens his hand grenade, and there is a huge blast in which Will Smith and all the people die. This was a sad moment for all of us, and now we see that the girl who was with Will Smith reaches a place where she wanted to go a settlement, a place where the remaining humans are present, and there is high security so that no Darkseeker can come there. Here she receives protection, and she gives the blood sample to the security present there. This blood sample was the same cure that Will Smith gave to Anna, and in this way, Will Smith sacrificed his life to save all of humanity. And perhaps that's why the movie was titled I Am Legend.